What is going down? What the fuck is going down? It's your boy, Studio MacGyver, and you are listening to Studio MacGyver's Dragonball and Video Game Podcast. Welcome to the show. If you're new to the podcast, welcome. If you're into anime, nerd culture, video games, we talk about all that shit here and more. So let's begin the show. This is podcast episode number 231. I want to welcome everybody once again to the show. Newcomers, welcome. Man, got an interesting show today, guys. Got a few different things to talk about. I got some stuff in the Dragon Ball realm I want to speak on. There's been some cancellations, some things going on out here, and I'm going to get into that. I'm going to get into my opinions on that and more. Also, I have to talk about some news that I want you guys to know. Like I said before, guys, my listeners who've been listening, they know I've been working on a lot of different stuff, and some of that stuff is starting to come to fruition. So I'm going to give you guys an update on that, and hopefully you guys partake in some of these things. Also, we have a major event next week. Well, technically this week, when you'll be getting this podcast Monday, so it'll be the same week. We have a big Sony event, guys. I'm going to talk about that. Also, my anime watch list, what I've been watching. Really only one fucking anime. It was two up until last week, but now I have to wait for the second half of the first season for that. Going to talk about that a little bit, and then some AEW talk. A little bit of AEW. I talk about them every once in a while because I'm a fan of change when it comes to certain things, especially if the thing that they changed from was, bad or negative. Okay, if that's how I can describe it. I'm sorry I can't describe it better, but going to talk a little bit about that. There were some major additions to AEW, man. The roster. I'm not going to talk a lot on that, but I do want to mention that and bring that up. So let's begin the show. I think I'm going to start off, guys, with the AEW since I just finished off with that. I want to talk about that. They have a pay-per-view that just, I think is just starting to wrap up now as I'm speaking into this microphone. At 1:47 a.m. Probably over now, but YouTube has been popping and they've been putting out videos and clips of what's been going on. Now, if you guys don't know about AEW, it's a company who has been formed a few years ago by a guy named Tony Khan and his father. And Tony Khan is a big wrestling fan, huge wrestling fan. They just happen to have lots and lots of money, so they decided to just go out on their own. And they got in touch with a couple wrestlers, one of my favorite of all time, which is Chris Jericho, and a couple others. And they decided to hatch a plan, start a new fucking company, and rival the company that's out now, which is WWE, which basically monopolized the whole industry for the most part. Yes, there were other wrestling companies out there, smaller ones, Ring of Honor, which is awesome. There also is Impact Wrestling, which I still like, and I think is an awesome company. But when held up to WWE, there's no comparison. The problem with WWE, if you listen to the wrestlers, that you listen to a lot of the fans, they're putting out a pretty shitty product because they have the monopoly on most of the other companies, so to speak. So what they end up doing is buying up all the talent, or as much as they can, and half of the talent doesn't even get a chance to shine or do anything because there's not enough time. And then when they do get a chance, a lot of the time, they end up being written into these dumb characters or these stupid roles, and they don't have any input in whatever it is that's going on. And I feel, as a wrestling fan, somebody, especially an older wrestling fan, that when it comes to those type of things, I think if I was an owner of a wrestling company, I would definitely give not all creative control, but I would definitely be willing to listen and take that into consideration, what the wrestlers are saying, because they're the ones out there performing. They're the ones out there, putting their bodies on the line. So I would give them that respect, if anything. I wouldn't write something and say, look, this is what it is. I don't want to hear anything. Just keep it moving. Now, could I be a dickhead and do that? Sure I could, but I wouldn't. Why would I want to? I wouldn't want my employees to be unhappy. I would not want my employees to wake up in dread going to work. And that's something I learned a long time ago, when I worked for, a company that paid pretty good money, but they were very difficult to work with or work for. They were assholes, they were dickheads, all of that and above. And I was mad every day. I was coming home from work mad every day. I dreaded going to work every day. When I clocked out, as soon as I clocked out, I was literally looking at how much time I had left before I had to return and dreading every fucking minute of it. So I say that to say, if you're unhappy in your work, in your job, that's the last thing you want. So just be happy. I mean, that's the main goal. And if I was owning a company, that's what I would have my environment kind of, mirrored after. That's what I would want for my employees and so on and so forth. So it just feels good to see a company like AEW come up like they have, and you see every year they get stronger. They add more talent to the roster, and it's a good thing because you can see it in the wrestlers' faces when they're wrestling. It feels like a completely different entity. It feels so different. The vibe is just on a whole nother level. You can see it in their faces, man. They love going to work. They love doing what they're doing. I mean, that's all I can say. I mean, CM Punk said it best. He didn't feel sick, working there. He felt sick working for WWE, and they were running him into the ground, and they didn't give a fuck about how he felt. And that's not somebody he wanted to work for. I mean, I'm paraphrasing here, but basically in a nutshell, that's what he was talking about. And AEW is a breath of fresh air. You got a young owner who is a wrestler's guy. Basically, he understands and he's willing to listen to the wrestlers and take notes from them as well. He may have an idea and he wants it to go this way, but a wrestler may say, okay, well, I know what you want for the most part, but is it cool if I do that or this and integrate that into what you've already written? And that's basically all these wrestlers want. You know what I mean? And who knows, maybe if you listen, you may get an idea from a wrestler or from one of your employees that you may not be have been thinking about, and it can make it even better. So you're not always going to, get to do what you want to do, but for the most part, you get an opportunity to share what you want to do, and that makes it a little bit better. So it wouldn't always be, I want to do this, I want you to do that, and you never get an insight. So maybe on one week, your idea, gets shot down, but maybe the next week it doesn't. And he actually ends up going with your idea or, leaning into what you want to do. So more of that, I'd say way more of that is going on in AEW, and you can see it in the wrestlers' faces. And Vince used to be that way. I remember back in the Attitude Era, man, when shit was just bad shit crazy. And that was the best time, if you ask me, in WWF or WWE. Those were the heydays. Those were the Monday Night Wars and all that stuff going on, where he was actually a wrestler's guy. When he was a little younger, he could identify better. He was actually wrestling with a lot of these guys and doing some crazy shit. And those were the days, I don't know what happened. I don't know if old age got a hold of them or what, but most people, when they are old people with power, they tend to it's hard to change their minds, man. When they're set in their ways, it's very hard, man. I mean, Jerry Jones from the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, I can think of a few of these kind of people, and it's just hard for them to go in other directions. They just can't do it. A lot of people just don't accept change. But AEW is going to make a lot of these motherfuckers change, and I like to see that. Okay, if you're stuck in your ways and you're doing shit and pissing people off and fucking over employees, I mean, you deserve to have certain things happen or not happen to you. And right now, AEW, in my opinion, is the result of so much fuckery in the industry. When you're talking about WWE, it bled over and bled out, and now basically, I kind of say that Vince McMahon kind of gave birth to AEW in a sense, because if WWE was, the creme de la creme inside and outside of the ring, I think that AEW may not have happened. Okay, that idea may not have happened. So I'm just saying, it's a beautiful thing. I just wanted to say that Adam Cole and Bryan Danielson, aka Daniel Bryan, have made a fucking impact in AEW. They literally just debuted tonight on AEW, and I was literally looking at that video before I hit this record button. So I just wanted to share that. I don't talk about wrestling a lot, but AEW makes me want to watch wrestling again, like seriously again, and tune in. Even if it's just on YouTube, a few days a week, I'm cool with that. AEW is a dope brand. I really have a lot of excitement for it. I get goosebumps watching a lot of these wrestlers now, which is crazy, which I haven't felt since I was a kid. And that's a good thing, man. That's a good product. I even want to take my son to one of these events one day. Eventually, I plan on doing that. So, I mean, for me to say that, and for me to have that type of feeling about this company, it's a good thing, because whenever it makes you feel young again, like a kid again, I mean, they're doing something right, in my opinion. So I'll leave that there on the table. I'll walk away from that. And now I'll get to my anime watch list. I'm not really watching anything, guys. I'm only watching, I was really only watching 2 anime. And one of them is over now after 11 episodes, which is 86. If you haven't seen 86, I'll say it again. I've said it before. Go watch that shit. It's on Crunchyroll. That's where I caught it at. It's dubbed, or, not if you prefer undubbed. But it's an awesome story. The manga is very long right now, so it's still some ways to go. But I will say that you won't be disappointed if you watch this. But there's 11 episodes now. Usually, there's 12 or 13. But they kind of change it up a little bit. It's really only one half of season 1 right now is what we got a chance to see. Now, supposedly in the fall, we'll get to see a little bit. We'll get to see the other half. Hopefully, I think October-ish or something like that. Hopefully, I don't know. But I'm looking forward to it. Loved so far. Loved what I've seen. And if you guys are looking for just something different to watch, definitely check out 86. It's a shonen. It's considered shonen, but it's also considered like drama. So there's a lot of real world discussions and themes in this anime, and I think a lot of people will find something beautiful under the hood in this one. So definitely check that one out. The other one I've been watching, strong really, I've been watching it almost every day, a little bit every day, and that is World Trigger. World Trigger is an anime by Toei Animation. Okay, people who are behind the fucking beloved Dragon Ball series. Okay, now I heard about this one through these anime streets, and I've heard it a few times before I decided to push play on it, because I heard about season 3 and everybody was going crazy over season 3 because it was close, and I said, damn, they're tripping over that like that. Let me check it out. So I've been watching that. I think I'm in season 2 now, and I am fucking loving it, man. The whole concept, everything about it is dope. If you're not familiar with World Trigger, it's basically about, I think I mentioned this before in another podcast, but I'll do it real quick. I'll run down it real quick for you guys. But it's about a other dimension where these other dimension beings come from. And for whatever reason, they've crossed over to the real world, to our world, and causing mischief, mayhem, trying to kill people, just destruction, basically. And so the city decided to start a whole, military, surrounding this thing, trying to combat this whole situation. So they built a big ass base. They also build a fence, or I guess you can call it a fence, around where the aliens come through the other side. So they train people, kids, or whoever's gifted at this stuff that they have, these tests that they have, and they train them to kind of combat these aliens whenever they decide they want to cross over and start shit. And that's the premise of it. That's the basic layout of how it works. And then you get to meet all these different characters who are different ranks. There's your C ranks, which are, low tier ranks. You're basically students of the game. Then there's your B rank, and then your A rank, which is the creme de la creme, the top of the line. And then if you want to go a step even further, there's S rank, but there's very few S rank people, and everybody uses weapons called triggers. Okay, and there's a lot of unique triggers out here that not everybody can wield. Certain people can wield certain ones, and then there's certain triggers that the majority of people can wield. So it gets very interesting, and there's a lot more to it than that, but that's the basics. It's really good. I didn't think I was going to like it as much as I do right now, and that's the one that I've been watching now. So I'm kind of, when I'm getting close to the end, I'm kind of looking around, trying to poke my head out, see what else is available, see what else is going to happen. Maybe there's something else I can catch and see. I'm always looking for that next anime, that next show, when the one I'm watching is over with. So that's the key. Have your backlog ready, which it is, and be ready to jump in, So yeah, that's where I'm at now, guys, on my anime. Thought I'd share that with you guys. All right, now let's jump on some Dragon Ball talk. All right, let's hit this Dragon Ball segment, and let's get this out, because if you're not familiar with what's been going on the internet, supposedly I've been seeing all these cancel videos. So it's like Dragon Ball Super canceled. Dragon Ball Super canceled. DBS canceled. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? What do you mean canceled? So I dug a little deeper and come to find out that apparently Argentina, okay, the country, they have decided to cancel Dragon Ball Super. Now, they have basically pulled Dragon Ball Super from the Cartoon Network in Argentina and said, until further notice, until they cut out these scenes or take this stuff off, you can no longer put this show on here. And the character they're referring to is Master Roshi. Supposedly, Master Roshi is the guy who causes all this shit to happen. All right. Now, the episode that caused all the drama is an episode that I spoke about before in Dragon Ball Super, which it kind of pissed me off in its own right. Not even talking about Master Roshi, but it's the episode, if you guys remember, where Goku was trying to recruit all of his friends to come and get together for the Tournament of Power. So he went to go visit Ten Shinhan and at his school, and Master Roshi was there. And of course, there was a student there, a female student, a young, beautiful student who, for whatever reason, she had an issue with Ten Shinhan, and she was basically going there to get revenge. But in the process of doing that, she ran into Master Roshi, who loves that ass and loves them titties. He loves them, and he's always loved them. And I'll get to that in Two Shakes of a Lamb's Tail. But there was a scene on there where he was basically flirting with her, so to speak, and they deemed that scene inappropriate when he was trying to touch her or whatever. So, and that's what got it pulled. That's what got it taken down, canceled, whatever you want to call it. Now, here's my thing with the whole thing, the whole shebang. I just think in the era that we live in now, guys, it's just people are too sensitive, man. I mean, it's getting so ridiculous. I can't even, when you start fucking with anime, okay, you're hitting a nerve, at least when it comes to me. All right. When you start fucking with that type of stuff, now you're in my wheelhouse. Okay. And I have to speak on it. And the reason why I'm bringing this up in the first place is because I just keep seeing it. And I even did a video on it, and I'll get to that as well. But Master Roshi, of all people, he's always been this way. Okay, since the fucking 80s, since Dragon Ball, the original series, Master Roshi has been a flirt. He has loved women, all of that. Okay, he's been just a pervy old man. And that was part of Dragon Ball's charm, if you ask me, as a fan of Dragon Ball. If you haven't seen Dragon Ball, man, go back and watch Dragon Ball. I also got a video about that in the works. So Dragon Ball is a beautiful series, man. And Master Roshi is just a part in it. And his part in it is what makes part of it flow, for me at least. And this, I'm speaking on my opinion only. I mean, everybody can have their own opinion. If you feel that Argentina did the right thing, I mean, that is your prerogative to feel that way. But, I'm speaking from my perspective and how I feel as a true Dragon Ball fan, somebody who has a podcast, who has, lots of different things surrounding, this series. So I'm just speaking on my beliefs or my feel about it. And I feel that it was uncalled for. I feel his show should have never been pulled. There's so many other cartoons, if you want to go there, you could choose from. Okay. There's so many other ones that you could pull off and start shit with. And you might even have merit for some of those. But Dragon Ball, come on, man. I mean, are there a couple scenes I could see, somebody kind of turning their head at a little bit? Yeah. I mean, one scene in particular I could think of would be in Dragon Ball when Goku wakes up and he's literally wakes up laying on, he literally wakes up on Bulma's, he's laying on Bulma's stomach area, okay, and he pulls up he sees her dress and he pulls it up and he's like, wow, she doesn't have anything down there, and he slaps it. I mean, I fell out. I'm not gonna lie to you, I fell the fuck out when he did that, when I first saw that scene. But he was like a kid, innocent kid who didn't know what the fuck was going on. He was trying to figure it out, and he was, he thought she was a guy like him or whatever, but he didn't understand the differential between males and females. That's basically what Toriyama was trying to convey to everybody. But anyway, that's the only scene really. I can see somebody saying, but even then, If you look at it if you look at it from a different perspective, you'd kind of understand why it was there. It was never written to be perverted. That's not the intent. Okay, and I believe that if there's something out there that wasn't intended to be that way, you got to hold back and give it a chance and let it play out. But that's just me. It's kind of like one of those things where if you see anything that, this is in cartoon form, this is in animated form, this is a shtick, this is not, a porn video or anything close to that. You know what I mean? That is why I'm kind of upset about it, because he's been doing this from day one. It's not like Master Roshi just woke up one day in 2021 and they said, oh God, who's this guy? He's, you know what I mean? Get him out of here. He has been the same guy forever. Now, I don't know who necessarily pulled caught the attention and I guess got it pulled, the individual. But man, I mean, it had to be somebody with some power, because, or maybe they feel some type of way about it. I don't know. I just really feel that that's setting a precedent for the future for other countries. It actually has a chance to do that, because I don't like this look, because then, I don't want that trickling into the States and all of that type of stuff, man, and shows and, your favorite animes and stuff like that being canceled because of a certain scene, that offended somebody. And I always say this to people who are offended by things like that. Okay. By anything, really, to be honest. If you're offended by something that you have the control to stop, then just stop it. And that's all this was, in my opinion. This is somebody who saw this and who was offended by that, and then couldn't turn off their fucking TV or their computer. That's how I look at it. If there's something I'm watching that I don't agree with or that offends me personally, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to turn this shit off and move on to something else. That simple, that easy. And that's all you have to do, because I can guarantee you, for one person that's offended by that, there's another person or a dozen other people who aren't. And that's where I draw the line. And that's where I have a problem with, because you can easily avoid it if it offends you. And it's not anything blatant. That's what I'm saying. That's the other end of the spectrum. It's not anything that would, it's not devastational to anybody. You know what I mean? It's not hurting anyone. It's a fun, scene, which Toriyama is known for doing when it comes to this particular character. Master Roshi is nothing new. The way he's acting and the way he's been acting, it's always been the same. He, even in this very episode, is training himself to not be weakened by the flesh, so to speak. And he ends up mastering that to a certain degree. So I don't know what else you want. Argentina, I'm glad I'm not living there. I can tell you that. Because if you're pulling shit off of Dragonball, which, let's keep it real with each other, is definitely PG-13 and below, for the most part. Okay, this is a kid show. A lot of children watch this show, and put it like this: would that episode be something that I would or let my child watch? Yes, I would. That's how I kind of judge it for myself. Would it be something I'd let my son watch? Yes, I would not be offended by my son watching that. Okay, that, in my humble opinion, that's just my opinion. That's how I would deal with it. Now, you can deal with it however you want to deal with it, but there's plenty of other cartoons and other shows and things of that nature that you could question, things being said or things being done. Okay. I don't know, guys. I had to bring this up because I just got tired of hearing about it, and I wanted to discuss it with you guys. And that's how I feel about it. That's my take on it. And I would love to get some of you guys' opinions on this, just to see where I'm at on it and see where you guys are at on it, because it's Dragon Ball, man. It's not going to hurt anyone. Okay. I don't know. I'm going to leave it there and walk away. Anyway, that's that. But anyway, I also have an announcement to make that I wanted to tell you guys. It's not a major announcement or anything like that, but it's something that I've told myself, you know what, I need to go out and do this. even if it's just for the sake of discussing it with you guys, I'm going to do it. And that's going back and watching, I can't believe I'm saying this, but going back and watching Dragon Ball GT. Yeah, I said that. I really said that. And the reason why I'm saying that now is because I had a discussion with a few friends, okay? One who happens to be a fan of the series, and he would always tell me, you haven't watched it all, I don't want to hear it. If you haven't watched it all, I don't want to hear it. So guess what? I'm going to watch it. Now, I don't know how long it's going to take me to watch this, guys. I'm basically going in straight virgin. It's been years since I've seen any GT. And, I remember the last time I watched it, I can remember I know I never finished it. Okay. I remember looking at Trunks and thinking, like, I'm sorry, Trunks looks so fucking gay. All right. With those shorts and how he dressed. Like, and then Goku being a child and all that. Like, I couldn't wrap my head around it. But I'm going to go back and check it out. And I'm going to watch it in its entirety. Okay. I'm going to give it a full chance, and finish the series. Okay. So I can just say I've done it. Okay. And I'm doing that partially because, I was a guy who was worried about canon at one point, and I was a stickler for canon. But I think we all know now, guys, that means absolutely nothing to Toriyama at this point. And it doesn't do anybody any good to use that shit. Okay. Because this shit is all over the place. All right. There's a lot of characters and stuff who aren't fully explained, and just some of the things just make no sense to me. All right. It just doesn't. So canon is out of the window. So I'm just going to watch it. And, all I know about GT is that he gave those reins to other people and said, here, I don't have anything to do with writing this. You guys go ahead and do your thing. Okay. And they, whoever it was, they did it. All right. So I know there were some cool characters in there. I know Super 17 was a cool character. I know that Baby Vegeta was awesome, a cool character. And, so those arcs, I very seldomly remember, not enough at all to just discuss fully. But I'm going to check them out, and I will get back with you guys. And I'll discuss as I'm going on. As I'm going along and watching this shit, I'm going to discuss it and, and see where it's at. It's more content for you guys. It's also, something Dragon Ball related. So, I can't sit here and claim to be a Dragon Ball guy and at least not give this a complete full try, So I'm going to do it. And I may find something I like out of there. I don't know. We'll see. So that want to let you guys know that. So in the next few weeks or months to come, I'll be watching it. I haven't watched my first episode yet. I plan on doing that sometime in the next couple of days. And then I will discuss next podcast with you guys what I've seen and how I feel about what I've been watching. So keep your ears posted for that one. That's going to be very interesting. All right. Now, aside from that, since we're still on the Dragon Ball train, here's another announcement I want to make to you guys. And I told you a couple episodes back that I was working on a YouTube channel. Well, that YouTube channel is now live. It is called DBD 24/7. That's short for Dragon Ball Drip 24/7. It's a YouTube channel. I got one video up now. It is live. So I will be doing a weekly episode on that channel, at least a weekly episode every Tuesday. Okay. At 4:00 p.m. You guys can get video discussions from your boy on DBD 24/7. So all my listeners who are listeners of the show, do your boy a favor. When you get a chance, go to YouTube, type in all caps DBD 24/7 and subscribe to your boy's channel. All right. And every week you will be getting a discussion video from me. And that's guaranteed. Every week, every Tuesday, you'll be getting an episode. But I will be adding more videos as time progresses. So in other words, yes, you can guarantee have a video. You're going to get one every Tuesday. Okay. But in between those days, there might be a pop-up or two on the channel. That way, those will be surprises for you guys. So in other words, every Tuesday you got something, but they'll be looking out for some surprises. You might be like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm waiting for next Tuesday, but oh, here's a video right here on Friday that just came out. He just dropped. Oh, talking about this or that. You know what I mean? So that's how I want to play it, and then I'll see how it goes and see how the workflow goes, because it's man, YouTubers, man, you're doing this shit full time. It's some fucking work, especially if you're doing your own edits and everything yourself. It is fucking work, okay? And trust me, I've been doing it, so I know that it's fucking work. And it's hard sometimes, especially when you got babies and shit like me, because I have a little girl, man. This girl will not fucking let me do anything. And you think I'm exaggerating when I say it, but I'm not, man. I promise you I'm not. During the day, I cannot do anything unless she's in my face, and even then I can't. So if I bring her into the man cave and I jump on the computer and turn it on and I'm trying to work and do some things, she's not going to let me sit there and do it. She's going to grab my fucking mouse. She's going to grab anything in her arms reach to grab and put in her mouth, or just try to mess up. Or then she'll wiggle out of my lap and she'll go to the cords areas and try to eat the cords and anything. So I can't leave my attention off of her for more than 20 seconds, or else she's into something and it's potentially disastrous. So I can't come into the man cave at all during the day. Okay, I have to wait for her mom to get home before I'm free, and then I can come and work without being disrupted. But even then, she cries and she cries and cries if she's not with me. Okay, so when her mom comes to get her, or she sees me get up and leave, she'll fucking cry. I mean, she loves her daddy. I you know what I mean? But that's I'm telling it, I'm keeping it real with you guys 110%. That is my life right now. Currently, she's 1 year old, and I don't know how long it's going to be before she gets out of that phase, but I wish it would hurry up and come, because I only have a certain window to do certain things now with that. So when she gets out of that phase, hopefully within the next year or so, God, I hope it's sooner, but then I can kind of free up a little bit. I can sit her in here and put on the TV, and then I can work on my computer and she'll sit there and watch some stuff. You know what I mean? But she won't do that right now. So if I sit her down on the couch, she'll start crying because she's not in my lap. You know what I mean? So literally I'm holding her, or I'm watching her run around the living room playing with shit, and I got to be on guard. So I have my iPad in my hand, or I have like my Nintendo DS or something in my hand, and I'm playing games like that where I can easily play something, but then at the same time keep my eyes on her. So it's hard to fucking work right now with that baby. So doing YouTube videos and editing and all that shit, it's a lot, and it requires a lot of fucking attention, and it requires a lot of focus, okay, to do these things, to get this stuff knocked out, in spurts. So you sit down at the table, and if you really focus, for the next few hours, you can get some good work done, okay? And then you got to multitask, because anybody who does videos, man, you have to fucking, render the video too. So I'll do a 6-minute video, and if I want it to be the best quality, it'll fucking render for 15-20 minutes. Okay, so I can't do anything else for 15 to 20 minutes on my computer while it's rendering. So what can I do? I have to multitask. I'll go on to something else and try to get something else while that's rendering. And then when that's done, I hop onto, the next piece, the next video. So that's where I'm at right now. And that's my life, man, trying to build these channels and just trying to, build stuff for the future, these stores that I'm talking about, all of this stuff, guys, you know what I mean? So also I was going to bring that up as well. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, but also go check out DragonballDrip.com, because there's a lot of people who listen to this podcast that, they like my gaming talk and everything, and that's cool. But in the same breath, though, a lot of them are here for the Dragon Ball stuff, and that's cool too. You know what I mean? That's why I made the Dragon Ball Drip 24/7 YouTube channel, because it's all Dragon Ball all the time. So if you want your Dragon Ball fix from me, all you got to do is fucking go there, and you're going to get all Dragon Ball stuff, right? And if you want to shop Dragon Ball, then you can go to DragonballDrip.com and you can get that shit too. And right now I only have one design on DragonballDrip.com, but the next thing I was going to tell you guys is that this week I have 2 new designs going up on that website. So by the end of this week, there'll be 3 different designs, and I got a couple of them. One is called Raw Power, and the other one is called Thirsty. And you'll understand once you see them, trust me. But they're dope. I did them myself on my iPad, guys. And that's like I told you before. Dragon Ball Drip is a site that it's a clothing line that I decided to make because the love I have for Dragon Ball. So it's my interpretation of characters that I created and what they would look like if they were in the world of Dragon Ball. Okay, so just check that out. I got some other ones I'm working on. Like I said, I'm always trying to do more things, new things, and stuff for you. And definitely just check out the website and check out the YouTube channel, DBD247. I'll say that for the last time. Go ahead and subscribe to that channel for your boy. If you love me, subscribe, okay? Now, that out of the way, let's talk about some major Sony shit, all right? Been waiting for this, been wondering when this was going to happen because Xbox has been eating Sony's lunch for a little while now. And I was wondering when this was going to change, okay? When this tide was going to turn, or when we were going to get any new announcements, regarding Sony and what they got working out there behind the curtain. And now we have a major Sony event right around the corner. I'm talking about Thursday. Okay, this Thursday, September 9th. It's going to be 40 minutes long, and it's going to be a major event, guys. How I know it's a major event is because the announcement that was made, okay, there's a guy who works with Sony, he's an insider guy or whatever, and he couldn't tell us, of course, what games they were, but all he could say was there's two games, okay, that's going to be shown here that are going to blow your fucking mind, okay? So this is going to be some major shit. And usually when Sony puts out a press release on Twitter or whatever they put out, they'll let you know, look, we're not going to be showing any of our first party things in this. They've done this. We're not showing any of this. Okay. So this last release they just released basically said, look, we're not showing anything VR related. But that's all they said. They didn't say we're not showing any God of War. We're not showing any first party, none of that stuff. So that tells you that there's something big coming. And you would think that it would be because, like I said, they've been in block mode or guard mode for a while now, for a few months now, and Xbox has been just teeing off on them. Okay, hop, hop, hop. Okay, now it's time for the offensive for Sony. So let's see what these guys bring to the table. There's a lot of speculation out there, guys. I'm hoping I see some God of War Ragnarok gameplay. But, that's wishful thinking right now. I mean, we may get like a trailer of maybe a little gameplay or something like that, or just maybe a cinematic trailer. I don't know. It's only going to be 40 minutes long, so what they decide to squeeze in here, is going to be interesting. But 2 major games, ooh, I can't fucking wait. I don't know what the fuck they're going to show. Okay, and we know we got Elden Ring out here, but there's been rumors out here in the video game streets that that these guys are working on a PlayStation exclusive after Elden Ring. Now, a lot of people have been wondering, could this be a sequel of a sort? Could this be Bloodborne, the sequel, Bloodborne 2? But they said that it's not going to be Bloodborne 2. It's something else. It's something that they've been working on. So I don't know. I mean, these are a lot of things up in the air, guys. I cannot wait. I mean, this is probably going to piss me off because I don't have a PlayStation 5. And when these games get announced, man, like I said, that first quarter of 2022 is gonna hurt a little bit if I don't have a PS5 by then. It really is because, those are hard to find. And speaking of PlayStation 5, while we're on the subject, they have a new model out. And if you guys don't know, the talk around town is the new model is supposed to be a little bit worse for wear than the current model out here. And what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is that the heatsink on the OG PlayStation 5 is bigger than the one that they just revised. So the revised one, there's a video that somebody put out. I can't remember his fucking name. He's a YouTuber. He's into tech. And he demonstrated, both models and how much heat that they generated. The newer model, which they just revised, generates more heat, maybe like 4 or 5 degrees hotter temperature. Now, it's a rough estimate, but he was basically saying in so many words that over the course of the years, it could definitely have an effect on your PlayStation 5 going out or overheating at some point when you compare it to the original PlayStation 5 because of the size of the heat sink and all of that. And a lot of people have stated that the Sony PlayStation 5, the architecture is not very good anyway, as far as heat is concerned. So depending on where you play your PlayStation and where you're at, if you have it like in an entertainment stand where there's, a closed off back or open out back, whatever, if the area is cool, that's going to have a lot to do with how it performs in the long term. I don't want my shit overheating at all. The room that I'm in now, this man cave, is the coldest place in this motherfucker, and I'm glad for it. Okay, and that's why my shit is just chilling, and it will never overheat, and it always stays nice and cool in here. All right, I only turn the air conditioner off while I'm recording, like I'm doing now. But yeah, that's it, and that's all. So I say that to say, Sony's got some things that they need to work out, and it's kind of asking me, what should I do? Because I kind of feel like a little kid, trying to go and play the jump rope game with the older girls. They're sitting there spinning the jump rope, and I'm trying to catch that jump rope so I don't fuck up this, the cadence. But I don't know if I should jump on this PlayStation 5 if it becomes available, or should I wait for another revised version like the PlayStation Slim or some shit like that, because they're coming eventually, but I don't know. I'm kind of torn. I have a machine, which is the Xbox Series S, which, will get me a lot of, games I'll get to play, but there's some that I won't. Like I said, those exclusive from Sony, and we're about to find out right now, because Elden Ring, I'm going to get that for the Xbox Series S. I've talked to a couple friends who have it, and, you want to play with friends with that because, you can have up to 4 players. So I want to make sure that they are getting that, so I can have people to play with. As far as any other games, man, I may have to hold off. I may have to be strong and hold off and wait for the right PS5 to come. And, there's pluses and minuses to all this, because with the PlayStation 5, depending on how long you wait and these games come out, the prices are going to drop over time. Okay. I may not get God of War until it's like $30 or something like that. And, who knows? But I'm not going to short change myself either. Okay. If I feel that this device is not worthy, I'm not going to fuck with it. Okay. And that's just what it is. Hopefully, Sony is always usually good for making good products. I haven't had any problems with them thus far. So that's how I'm looking at it. And I'll try to live by that code until they prove me otherwise. That's the only thing I can say. I did have a very cool room. I'm going to make, I I take care of my stuff. I love all of my things. I treat them all, with kid hands, kid gloves. I make sure that I don't fuck up anything. That's why I have a lot of older systems and stuff like that. And, I keep everything in a nice, cool area. And that's how I choose to do it. So, maybe there's people out there who don't, who can't or don't have a way to do that. And, it sucks for them if that's the case. But I'm making sure that my electronics stay cool. And I don't think I'll have a problem in this room with that. Okay. But everybody has a different story to tell. Hopefully, all of them have happy endings in the end. And I'm going to be, rooting for Sony, because I'm a Sony guy, but they haven't been doing very well. But hopefully this event dusts some of the shit off of them. Okay. And actually clean some of the butter off of their body, because, as much as I'm excited to talk about this Sony event, there's something I do need to discuss really quick with you guys when it comes to Sony. And this is, they actually I can't believe I'm saying this, but Sony is capable of pulling out warm butter, of their own. Sony has a small butter company somewhere in Japan, ducked off in a small city, in a small town, and they can pull it out if they need to. Okay. They also have their own sake laboratory, which they make their own sake as well. So they were doing this recently. Okay. They pulled out some sake, and they definitely pulled out some warm butter. And, we, the consumer, had to pull that fucking Uno reverse card on their ass. And that's what happened. Okay. Let me break it down for you. All right. Sony at one point told everybody, consumers, us, that, hey, if you have a PS4 and you don't have a PS5, when Horizon Zero Dawn comes out, it's going to release for the PlayStation 4 as well. Not just that, God of War is also a game that's going to do that. And there's some other titles as well that are first party games. So all you have to do is get a PS4 game, buy that game, and then if you eventually, when you get your PS5, you can upgrade it for free. So in other words, I got a PS4 version of Horizon Zero Dawn, Forbidden West. I take it, I put it in my PS5. The PS5 recognizes it and gives me that upgrade, baby. Okay, no problem, no questions asked, whatever. That was the plan from the get-go. But apparently, sometime between that time and maybe a couple days ago, they decided to fucking pull out the warm butter and the sake. All right. And what they did was they were basically telling everybody, if you want to get that fucking PlayStation 5 version, you're going to have to get this, I guess, what do they call it? The Super Edition, whatever the fuck, Advanced Edition, whatever. It was like around $200. Okay. If you want to get it. Now, if you buy that, then yeah, you don't have to worry about upgrading. Okay. So if you get the PS4 version of that, you're good. Okay. So, of course, everybody started covering this shit. Okay. All of the big YouTubers, all the press. And like I said, if you say anything or do anything, you can't sneak it in. You can't do it anymore. We don't live in that age anymore. You cannot fucking get away with fuckery. You cannot pull out warm butter and hope that no one sees it. You cannot fucking drink oodles and oodles of fucking sake and expect no one's going to smell your breath. You can't do that anymore. And basically they were thinking that they could get away with it, and it didn't happen. And of course they got pulled on it, and YouTubers started fucking covering it, and then it just got out of hand, and people started looking at Sony like, what the fuck? All I smell is butter and sake. And they decided, oh shit, we can't do this. Let's pull it back. So we hit them with that Uno reverse card, and now they changed their tune. So now they're saying, guys, we're sorry. We didn't mean for that to happen. What we're going to do is we're going to honor what we said before, and we're going to, if you get it for PS4, you can upgrade later on the PS5. Okay. And that goes for our other first party games. And any future first party game that we have, and it comes out for both systems, if it's cross platform, guess what? All you're going to have to pay is $10 upgrade, and that's it. So, of course, the games, PlayStation 5 games are $10 more than the PlayStation 4 games. So that's what they mean. As long as you pay that difference, boom, you're in the door. Now, $10 is a lot better than fucking $200 if you ask me. Okay. And I don't even know why they got the idea to do that in the first place, and to really actually think that they were going to get ready to slide with that. That was not going to happen, guys. Okay. You want to seek a battleship? You want to see it in live HD? Do some shit like that again, and it'll happen. So that's what happened to them. They got caught on their bullshit, like anyone will in this day and age, and you better watch your fucking back. And like I said, that is why I love YouTube. That is why I love social media, for things like this. When companies think they can fuck you over and just walk away clean, you can't do it. Okay. That's why Cyberpunk 2077 is going through all the bullshit that they're going through, because now every little lie that they told is being magnified in their faces. And I can't believe that they didn't realize that this would happen in this day and age. Maybe because they thought they were CD Projekt Red and they couldn't be touched. Maybe they had a little bit of that, the little conceitedness going on. I don't know, man. But it doesn't matter who you are, and it really doesn't matter who you are, because Sony, I'm a Sony fanboy, and I'm calling Sony out right now with this. Okay, I'm keeping it real, 110%. I always say that to you guys. If you fuck over somebody, if you pull out warm butter or sake, I'm going to talk about it. I don't care if you're Sony, Xbox, Nintendo. I don't give a fuck who you are. Okay, because if you're fucking with me and my money, okay, I'm throwing that sake on the floor. All right, and I'm definitely putting that butter up. But that's me. Okay. Anyway, they changed it, and that's good for us. Cannot wait. And that's going to do it for the fucking show, guys. I mean, I want to thank everybody for coming out, listening to this podcast. If you're streaming it, thank you for streaming it. No matter what you're doing, as long as you're listening, hey, man, thank you very much. I hope to hear from you guys again. We do this every fucking week, every Monday, same bat time, same bat channel. So without further ado, I'm going to get my ass up out of here. But don't forget, like I said, guys, check out DBD247. That's the YouTube channel. That's Dragonball Drip for short. Subscribe to your boy's channel. Also check out DragonBallDrip.com. Also check out StudioMacGyver.com to get all of my handles. If you guys want to chat it up or whatever, you want to know what's good, you maybe want to get my gamer tag or something like that, and we can chop it up and play some games, whatever. You want to download some the Dragon Ball song for free, do it there. You want to get some merch for the podcast and help out the show, you can do that there. StudioMacGyver.com. So I have a lot of different things going on. You can access me so many different ways. And I thank you guys. It's all because of you guys, really, to be honest, that is making all this possible. So I'm just getting stronger every day. Things are getting better. And I'm putting more content out here for you guys. So I love you. And I'm glad that you're my listeners and you're my family. So I'm going to get out of here, guys. This is your boy, Studio MacGyver. And you have been listening to Studio MacGyver's Dragon Ball and Video Game Podcast. See you next time.